TGIF warriors, everyone ready for the NFP? Going to be no frickin' problem.
Morning, Dale. Before you
Hey.
start, the BLS are experiencing technical difficulties and data retrieval tools are not available on the website.
Okay, so what's that mean?
We're screwed.
Yeah, that means we might not be getting data.
Oh wow, how about that? All right. Well, who's he going to fire now? Huh? Me? I
Fire the machines.
Huh? Fire the machines. Gosh, they're really having problems. You're going to get rid of the whole department. Okay, so we just go about the day like it's not going to happen, right?
Shit.
Okay. Hi, Steve. How are you? Ayaz, I hope I have your name right. Good day to you, Ingmar, Mike. Kman's here, Glenn. We have a full team and no data. Hi, AJ, Will. All right, we will. Will. All right, Bran, how are you? Ryan's here, Hugo. Yeah, Kman knows the TGIF. All right, so I'm sure they're not saying TGIF today. Anyway, so let's pretend that the NFP doesn't exist anymore, and we're going to have to just trade without it. I tell you, it's like the Twilight Zone. A lot of the stuff that's going on, isn't it surreal to you? I mean, to me, it is.
I'm glad we got the new BLS director today. I mean, for this is awesome.
Oh yeah,
It won't prevent Trump from asking to cut rates. Now it's very urgent because even the BLS can't produce the numbers anymore. Cut.
Yeah, that's right. So and Euro's trying to come out of the hole here, and we'll see what happens. Yen did not take out that high from the other day. I mean, it still looks like a coin toss. I'd rather sell it if it went up here, but this could be a failing rally. Um, these are all tough calls. I mean, even if there wasn't an NFP here, I'm still not sure what to do with this rectangle here. It looks like, wants to test the bottom of it, though. If someone, huh?
Dale, just before big data, as as we expect every single month before big data, you find yourself mid-range, and look, we're smack dab in the middle of this range. I mean, it's such an important number, and I know everybody likes to joke about this is the most important number ever, but really we're in a it's a coin toss situation, and even though we might not get the numbers today, it's either going to be it could be right in the middle of what expectations are, slightly above, slightly below, but that could really alter expectations for a cut. So I think when you see the market mid-range like this means the market is basically neutral and waiting to react, like we all are actually.
Yeah, so we made the new high in S&Ps by 8 handles, and it did not confirm. So it didn't confirm here, didn't confirm here, didn't confirm here. So maybe, yeah, so this is the problem with 3 drives. This looked like a 3 drive, right? 1, 2, 3. But if I just ignored that, I could say, well, here's the 3rd drive. 1, 2, 3. So sometimes threes can morph, and what you thought was a 3 was only a 2. But this could be a 3rd drive up here. A lot of divergence on the 4-hour daily. Not even close. I mean, to really, this was the 24th of July. So that's quite a while for diverging, goes all the way back to this high. So anyway, divergence continues at new highs. We'll see. I mean, sometimes when we have numbers, if we have numbers, you can have inflection points and reversal days on NFP that stick. Anyway, S&Ps are coming off pretty good from their highs, but NASDAQ's up 100. I don't know what's taking that up. With new highs, we can say this though. Nvidia, even though it's trying to bounce, see, it's lower on the day, $2 with the S&Ps at new highs. That's different because up until recently it was making new highs with the market, right? And it's not. I'm not saying it can't. It could blow again, but it's still $15 away from new highs. So just something to keep in mind. There was a 6520 number, and I thought we hit it last week. A lot of guys had that for 5 of 3, and then we're expecting a 4 pullback. But now we did it. Now we did hit that 6520. I think that was the high. Let's see up here, 22. So now it's done it. So if we're not going to have numbers, I wouldn't be long up here. Okay, so look, this kind of setup, and even if you've been long, it hasn't been easy. Say you've been long from this high, right? So you've taken some heat, but I don't think I'd be long here. I still think there's a chance of a pullback for a 4 in the next, maybe into, well, Steve's here. Maybe we're peaking on the lunar eclipse. We have eclipses happening here.
Hey, Dale, we are literally and yesterday we got within 15 points of that 127% extension. We've been talking about the wave 5 finally reaching 65.25. We've literally gotten within a couple of points of that level. And
Yeah.
today we're there. But let's also acknowledge the fact that if this number is strong. Now, I know people like to believe if the number is weak, that just exemplifies the idea that the Fed's going to continue to cut rates, or they're going to cut rates here on the 17th, and the market's going to go higher. But I actually believe that the economic data starts to turn, especially your labor data, stocks aren't going to like that. We might get a spike higher, but then you got to fade it. But if the number is good, which again we have a new BLS director that is a Trump. Oh shit, what's happening with the dollar yen is getting the shit kicked out of it right now. The dollar is actually getting the shit kicked out of it right now.
Yeah.
Getting spooked.
Yeah. I mean, they're probably what they probably did is
Confidence crisis.
they flickered on the machine and they're like, oh shit, the machine's giving us raw data. All right, bad data. Let's go ahead and turn that off and say we have a problem. So that's probably what's happening.
Yeah. So
That's a joke,
anyway,
but
yeah. So dollar weaker. Well, Greg has steadfastly stayed, bullish euro. If you look at the traffic lights and his count, he's still bullish. So and was talking about last time he was here. I think he's going to be here today.
he's here
Uh,
now.
all right, for one more low down towards 95, 94.50 for an ending diagonal sometime in September. So that was Greg's call. Still looks viable. Could still happen here. So why don't I bring him in? And Greg, you could give us an update on your wave counts going into what may or may not be an NFP day. How are you, buddy?
Waiting on these numbers, if will be something interesting today or no.
Yeah, I don't know if we're getting at it. Lutnick says economic numbers will get better after staff.
So
okay.
yeah, so we are seeing the US yields are coming pretty nicely to the downside. Last time we talked, maybe there's room for 4%. Stocks also made a very nice rebound. So now we are just waiting still on this dollar maybe to catch those moves based on correlations. So as you said, I'm still waiting on this ending diagonal to reach a new low, and then let's see what happens down there. I mean, everything sets up for potential further weakness if jobs data would really be that weak. Then of course we can expect that this new low will be here sooner rather than later. But said already last time, or maybe if we just if I show you this chart, just a second. So that was basically back in August, okay, of last year, 2024. Back then, we have seen a pretty sharp sell-off on stocks after the bad data. And then the Fed cut the rates a few weeks later in September. So after initial sell-off, we rebounded based on rate cut expectations. So my hat is saying very similar story maybe could unfold this time as well. If we'll get this bad data, then after a sell-off, I would still expect that stocks somehow would stabilize based on this cut expectation.
Could we have completed something here at 520 and then pull back for a 4 and then get a 5?
On the S&P?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'm looking for this wave 4 to unfold. So I'm still bullish on stocks overall, but in the near future, okay, if we take a look on this, it looks like a very dangerous pattern up here. It looks like it could be an ending diagonal. Definitely, we have plenty of overlaps. Bulls are struggling. There will be a lot of portfolio adjustment. I believe in September, still maybe next week, because everyone just waiting on this data to confirm whatever Powell is on track to cut rates or no. So I still think that the stocks will remain in uptrend even if we see some sell-off on bad data, as I said. And dollar, more weakness. I also think the dollar yen is having a very nice complex consolidation here. We just cannot move here above 149. It's still the 61.8% of this drop that occurred back in July, early August. So I think that weakness still here is incomplete, and that more sellers could potentially step in. Euro dollar, obviously, very similar situation, also expecting a push to the upside. We're just testing this trendline resistance, so it could be a very important day, not only day, also a week for this month as well. So I'm looking definitely for another push higher here. Maybe cable is even better. Okay, this has like a textbook Elliott wave pattern. So for those who are not familiar with the Elliott waves, whenever we have free wave movement, usually that's a correction, especially when you have a broken corrective channel. And then when you know that higher degree trend is ready to resume, well, when you have 5 waves up. So that's an impulse. That was a correction. More importantly, we had another only 3 waves down. So it looks like a perfect 8-wave bullish Elliott wave cycle up from that August lows. So I think that this one is showing us a very nice, beautiful pattern. Also, head and shoulders pattern as well is something to watch for, especially if we can break this 135.60, which could be some resistance if we retest these levels, but eventually we could break through it. Now, regardless of the data, I still think that here I'm looking for just a second.
Did we lose Grega?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh,
I'm here.
Okay.
So here I'm still looking for more upside. I just think that after our retracement, there can be new buying opportunities. Maybe if we take a look here at the previous highs, this should be a pretty nice support. So if we get a new dip here, I think that metals will very quickly stabilize. I just don't think that any data will just make us important reversals here on metal. We just certainly see a very nice healthy uptrend that for now is still incomplete, and I think it could resume above 3,600. So these are something that I'm watching. So I'm saying gold 3,000 500 euro-dollar on a potential breakout. This could be very interesting, but maybe you just want to see a daily close outside of this channel and then maybe attack or look for some longs next week.
Greg, I think I've asked you this before. You don't chart grains at all, do you?
No, occasionally I just looked at them, but not making any kind of a analysis.
You may want to start paying attention to them while they're still unfashionable, because there is a possibility, and I'd be very curious to see what your macro look is of a lot of these coming out of long-term bases, and their values were cut by more than half from the invasion, the time of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And Ukraine has a drought going on, and it's the second or first biggest breadbasket in the world. So you can't eat gold, guys.
Yeah,
grains are important.
that's true.
And we have some smart viewers, because someone's noticed I was bullish corn and natural gas, and they said, well, they use natural gas, and if corn is good, in fertilizer. So the guy is long fertilizer stocks. Anyway, if you haven't been trading well, why not trade manure? That's fertilizer. So anyway,
I feel like I'm trading shit all the time anyway.
It doesn't it? And today, so we won't know for we don't know 14 minutes from now if we're going to have a number. Anyway, so Greg, is that it that you have?
Maybe one more thing, looking at Bitcoin, I'm not in a bullish camp here. Maybe just short term, if we see some rally, watch 117K. If you take a look on futures, that was a pretty important gap up here back a few weeks, 2 weeks back. And then if you look at liquidations pools here, we have some large numbers here building around to 118K, so slightly below that futures gap. So I think that this zone could potentially limit this.
Is that market profile?
Facing.
Is that market profile? Those bars on the right-hand side?
Yes,
okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, thank you, Grega. Appreciate it, man.
Thank
you. You have a vacation planned anytime soon, or are you back to work for a few months? You and Ryan coordinate your vacations.
Only my wife is planning vacations, not me. So.
Hey, I'd like to be a week behind Gregor in his holidays.
Yeah, well, you guys are in a competition for it anyway. What do we have for whisper numbers of a number that may or may not come out? 70,000 created.
75 is the rough expectation at the moment.
What was your guess?
I think I picked 186.
Oh, wow. Why?
I like to be contrarian.
Well, besides that, there's some other reason.
No, that's it. It doesn't matter. I'll trade what the number is, not what I guess. Trust me.
Yeah. All right. I believe you, bro. So, Kay, any thoughts going into the number or not the number?
The non-number.
Well,
as you know, I always look at relative strength and weaknesses. So I put it up in our chat room what I'm going to look at if we get them. So there's a few permutation possible, of course. We can get a surprising beat, in which case the dollar would do well because the market will need to reprice a bit of that bearishness on the yields. And then I can see the two bigger movers on a real strong report would probably be the dollar yen and potentially this time dollar Swiss as well. On a really good report. Those are the two main ones I can see. If it's like an okay-ish one, then I think we are going to probably test the upper side of the dollar ranges, but not break. And being ranges, And then a mild miss. I'm looking at a few things. Probably gold, silver remaining supported, and then the one that maybe not too many people believe in, but I still think that Aussie is doing well. So on a mild miss, I can see the Aussie doing well. Obviously, euro dollar as well. Euro dollar is going to move pretty. I mean, just on the basis of the numbers, euro dollar will always move. But I'm just looking at the ones that are maybe not always obvious. And if it's a real bad one, I think dollar will drop. So any pair is probably good, but then I think gold breaks 3,600. Gold is really the one that I'm going to look at if it is a real bad report.
And wouldn't you think, Kman, that you got to use gold to also confirm any dollar view that you have? I mean, I know a lot of people suggest that even on a good number, gold's going to go higher. I'm not sure I'm in agreement with that. I think this is going to be pretty binary for the dollar, but also for gold's just going to be an inverse relationship,
Yeah,
straight, straight
yeah.
up. So.
But gold will likely, because of other factors, gold will likely, if it comes down, I agree on a very good number. That's probably going to send it lower and potentially back to 3450 or even 3400. But
Right.
it's probably still going to be a correction because all the rest is still all the other points why gold is bid is still valid are still valid.
Yeah.
Yes, the dollar will move, but I would rather be more convinced gold is going to shoot through on a real bad report because that will just add to all the other factors why gold is bid.
Right, right. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think gold will be bought on dips for sure. And I think your number that you say is 4,500 or 4,500, I'm sorry. We'll be there next month. 3450 is the right number for me because this is the level right here where if you get back below 3450 right here, this is where things turn a little bit bearish. Then you got to, technically speaking, you got a false breakout. That's where if I was long gold and I was late long, I would be worried below there. That's the way you guys, as traders, we should always be viewing the trade from the lens of somebody who's on the other side of our trade. And I try to explain that at all times. If you're long gold, for example, and you got to be thinking, okay, I bought gold on this breakout above 3,500. Where do I want out? Where do I say, get me the hell out? And I think that's the point where Kman just brought up. He's like, yeah, below 3,450, or if it gets down to 3,450, we should find buyers. If it gets below there, that's where people start to get nervous. So I think that's the great level that you're identifying, Kman. And I do believe you're right that any strong number, dollar's gonna rally, and gold's gonna pull back but should find buyers down there, right?
Yeah, that's what I think. Just because of the other factors still
Sure.
being valid, but there's going to be people running for the exit if it's a really good number because yeah, it's probably short-termers have probably bought this break of 3,500, and there was probably going to be a few stops below there.
Yeah,
Yeah, but if it's on the other side, then I don't see what's going to stop it.
sure. I agree.
Really,
John,
because the
John,
geopolitics, everything else is still a mess. So yeah.
John just popped in and asked about the BLS. Yes, they are having technical issues. I believe the number's still going to get out one way or another. The machine that does uh, uh, the machine that actually releases the number as it comes out, or the random number generator that we get, I guess that's broken. So if somebody puts it out manually, it may not just come out at the very second that everybody's waiting for. It might be a little bit of a cluster F. I didn't want to say that, Dale. Are you proud of me? I just didn't let that one fly
Yeah,
today.
very good filtering.
Yeah, it'd be a
Very good.
cluster bomb today
Yeah,
is what it
yeah.
would be. I do want to cover a couple of things. We just have a few short minutes. Crude oil's on the lows, and we're approaching that 6150 level. Keep that one on the radar. Also, Bitcoin. I know I agree with what Greg has said. I'm definitely not in the bullish camp right now. I think crypto is actually acting pretty poorly. We're back at the 112,000 level, which is a huge pivot because it's a previous all-time highs. We're just kind of sitting there. So I would obviously be really nervous if we break through this 108 level, 107.50, 107,500 level. That would get me really nervous. Ethereum, it's sitting on really critical support, but when you get below, if we get below 4,060, which was this low right here, that is a false breakout. Then you don't want to be long Ethereum after that, because then you have a big, I don't want to say it's a double top. You just have a lot of resistance that is going to be traded against now. As basically well below 5,000. Yesterday on the morning edge, the daily roundup, everybody knew I was getting long the euro down here at the 116.40s. And I said that, hey, if you had that strong ISM number yesterday, if that's not going to produce any dollar weakness, we're going to go right back into the middle of the range, because anybody who was buying dollars yesterday got a little frustrated at the end of the day, and that's exactly what's happened. Here we are mid-range. I think the euro's set up perfectly for today. Strong number, we're going to be back at the bottom end of the range, which is 116.40. A weak number, the euro is going to be trading back up at 117, 20, 117.40, and if it's a really weak number, like let's say we don't create any jobs and let's say unemployment ticks up to 4.4%, that's not going to happen, guys. Well, if it does, whoever the new BLS director is, whatever his name is, the guy that wears funny looking suits that are from 1985, if that happens, that dude's fired, and then we're going to get another guy coming in. So I don't see that happening. But if we had a really bad number today, we'd be trading up at probably 118 by this weekend, I would assume. Again, I'm not in that camp. I don't think that that's going to be the case. That's probably why the quote unquote machine is broken, because the random number generator is probably generating random bad numbers right now. So they have to, cobble together some sort of positive data to release. Anyway, that's my
Michael's just made a very, very valid point in the room. If it's delayed, watch out for people throwing out fake numbers.
Yeah, that's Michael Brown and from Pepperstone in the Forex Analytix chat room. That's a great point, Michael, if you happen to be listening in right now. Great point there. All right, so that's how I want to play the euro. There's other things that I want to play. Obviously, if you're in the Forex Analytix chat room, you know exactly what my setups are. I actually got out of all of my positions last night. I took everything off the board, and I'm ready to react today. So yeah, so there we go. Ryan, we got 2 minutes. What do you think?
What am I thinking? It's a complete shit show.
Yes.
So I'm more looking at what this all means for the future, not September meeting or anything else like that. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to react to anything at the moment. If it's delayed, I don't want to trade it, but I'll wait for the numbers to be officially released and then make my judgment after that.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. I'm going to pick up some Euro Swiss down here because I've been planning on buying a few pieces of it. I sold it last night up here in the 90s or in the high 80s. I'm just buying that. It has nothing to do with NFP, so I'm just kind of doing that in the near term. All right, Kman, we have less than a minute. We already got your
may have
comments.
3 hours in a minute.
Right. Well, yeah, exactly. Dale, any last minute thoughts before this data comes out?
Not really, Blake. I want to see it resolve that rectangle one way or the other. And my bias is that's going to break down. I'll go with Greg's call on this.
Yeah. Hey, Dale, just remember the yields at 5% were that was the top earlier this week when people were yammering about that, right?
Very
It's
good
crazy.
call. If you pull up TLT, it looks like an ascending triangle. Almost looks bullish. So, and Trump owns hundreds of millions of it. So, anyway,
Here we go.
It's a pretty big formation.
Here we go. Here we go. Oh, it's out. 22K. 22K.
Oh
Weak.
God, he's getting fired. Holy shit. Well, that is a bad number. Holy cow. Well,
I was talking to the Pivot King, and he said he saw an interview where reporters asked President Trump, it looks like you're going to get rates are going to come down.
They're really bad.
And he said, it's too late. How about that?
damn, man, I'm just trying to buy some euro here. It's tough to buy. Just getting rejected.
The
So,
2-month revision has come in at minus 21K versus 258K previously. Prior month's NFP revised up to 79K. Unemployment rate went up to 4.3, but the participation rate increased by a point as well, so that could add to that. Yeah, it's worse than expected. I don't know. It's not a negative number. I think that's what's important.
it is not a negative number, but regardless, what is happening here, real quick, let me just show you guys. The euro has broken through this triangle resistance. We're pushing in the 40s. This is one of those pieces of data that if this can continue, we might trade up to the 117.70 level. And yeah, I mean, this is not a good number.
It's going to shift. It's going to shift expectations for cuts for the future. SEP's a done deal. It'll probably raise expectations for December and the other one, and then definitely probably into 2026. And the market will now be looking for a movement in those dots at the September meeting because they get updated.
All right. So what are you guys doing here? You guys doing anything? I mean, I'm just trying to think everything that I want to.
I bought some gold again.
5,000.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. I mean, gold's going to see 3,600, which is the 127% extension. So that would be logical. I'm currently just selling dollars right now. I'm just trying to get my hands on some. So yeah, I mean the euros at near highs. The US dollar Swedish krona is going to break down. This is a big deal. You want to talk about a currency pair that has not moved anywhere. I talked a lot about this on the trade-off show this week. And what did the Canadian numbers do? Because look at the dollar CAD. I mean, I wasn't even paying attention.
It's bad, but it's a complete loss on the part-timers. So complete reversal of last month, but it's bad, minus 65K. Also, the unemployment rate is ticked up above 7%, so that's not good at all.
Look at the Euro CAD. That's where you want to be looking right now. The Euro CAD is going to blow up. Wow.
We do have an interview today, Blake.
Oh, we do. Shit. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry.
That's
I did not know
Yeah, it's a reschedule. From Monday. He had technical issues Monday.
Well, then is he here right now?
Yeah.
Oh, did you bring him over? I didn't see it. Okay. Yeah. My bad. All right.
It's all right. Hey, I'm just letting you know.
Oh, no, thank you. Okay. Guys, this is obviously a bad number. We have the S&P is nearing the highs of the session. I just don't know if that's going to sustain. It's one of those things that by the end of the day, watch what the S&P does, because everybody's like, oh, look, we're going to get our rate cut. Obviously we got some weak data that just confirms the idea we're going to get the rate cut, but labor data is weakening, and that's something that we need to be, just very well aware of. It's not necessarily a good thing. You know what I mean? So, just keep that in mind as we now today. And then also, if you want to be talking about all of our positions, what we're doing in the trades room, knowing what we're trading, jump in the Forex Analytics chat room. Remember, this is our summer sale. Summer is coming to a halt, and so our summer sales that is 40% off our subs. we are going to be taking that one down. So take advantage of it. Be in a chat room. Get used to using Forex Analytics. Use our dashboard. Have all the tools available to you that we make available to you. And which is a lot. It's a great trader's toolbox. So we'll see you in the chat room. Thank you, Dale. Thank you, Ryan, and thank you, Kman. Steve is here. Thanks, Grega. Thank you guys for all for being here and navigating through us the week with us.
Yeah,
Cheers,
good
everyone.
week. Good week. Thank you, Grega. Thanks, Ryan, Kman, Blake. Good week. It all came down to today, didn't it? Everything. So we have our answer. Nice call, Grega, for lower dollar. So you can. I know short term, you don't want to be looking at alongside dollar, but now you can start to plan in the next several weeks to look for an ending diagonal in the Dixie. So be patient, wait for it. That could be major. And thank you guys for a great week in F.A.C.E and the teaching, the mentoring, the trade calls, the actionable things to do. Great job. So have a great weekend, Dream Team. And I'm going to talk to Okan Abar live from, are you in Istanbul, Okan?
Yes, yes, Dale. Can you hear me, by the way?
Yes, it's great that you have a microphone today.
I'm very happy that
Your son is
that
your IT guy.
yes.
He made some adjustments on your
Yeah, yeah.
computer.
My 8-year-old IT guy has made some adjustments, which
Yeah,
put me in a lot of trouble, but it's okay. Thank you for your understanding
yeah,
the other day.
yeah. So
Um,
why don't I don't you I believe you prepared something.
yes.
I just from what I recall last time, you were I think looking for about 109 euro, and I said, could we go 116? And you said yes. So here we are, and that was based upon SOFR, right? So um, that even there's times when these fundamental interest rate differentials seem to not mean much. Is that what happened? That I mean, you had the idea that euro would decline because of the interest rate differentials on and SOFR. Was that it? That
Yes.
had you bearish euro?
Yeah, no, I am not bearish euro anymore. Used to be.
Okay,
I mean, I was bearish euro for transitionary bearish, just for a short term. Well, I remember after I spoke to you that the euro dollar could go as low as 109. Well,
right.
it didn't go. Well, I thought it went as low as if I'm not wrong, 115 or something like that. And then,
Yeah, yeah,
but since then, the market has been stabilized in between 115 and 118,
yeah,
117.
yeah.
So here we are. I mean, the last time we spoke was about like 3 months or 4 months ago.
Yeah,
And
about three.
yeah, 3 months, and the market has been really, really stable during the summer.
Yeah,
But now market is start to look at the risk differentials rather than the interest rate differentials, because risk differentials are playing more important role in today's political environment rather than economic environment, because
interesting.
the money is looking for places
Safety.
to go. Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah.
I mean, so
Well,
far the US has been a very safe place for money to stay in, but I don't know if it is going to continue to be so. But when I look at the difference between the US market and the emerging markets, I mean, the emerging markets has already caught up with the US market as well. So at this point, I'm thinking where the money is going to go from, from here. When at a time when the risks are high, so the relatively speaking, US is not cheap from risk point of view, and and the emerging markets are not less risky too. So they are both similar.
So what's your view on could we trade one? Looks like we could trade either 118 or 120 in euro now.
Definitely. Yes.
Okay. And
Yeah.
but is that so? Are we going to see a big continuation, or could there be a pause up there and complete something up there? And you're not sharing your screen if you want to.
Yeah, I want to share my screen with you as I talk about the euro dollar, if you will.
Okay, sure.
Okay, let me share my PowerPoint page on which I have the euro dollar. Can I explain what I have here?
Yes.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
Okay. So what I'm looking at here is now I want to talk about the Fed the fund's net positions, which are shown in the blue. I don't know if you can see well on the screen.
Yeah,
The
kind
contrast
of.
is low. Yeah,
I
the
see it.
contrast is low. Yeah.
All right, so they're real long. They've been long and almost wrecked 20 years. They've been this bullish or bearish dollar in 20 years.
Right.
Okay.
And so it's up. So the market has interest in keeping the euro dollar.
Right.
And looking at the 2-year real return spread between the US and the euro, and that is the differential between the dollar's real return minus the euro's real return, which is shown in the red on the red chart below here. So that is also low. This means that the dollar's relative risk is higher than the eurozone. So this is a dollar negative sign. So the fund's net positions, which is shown on blue, is a negative sign for the dollar because the funds are long euro, and from risk point of view, the 2-year real return spread is in favor of euro, so not favorable for the dollar. And
Okay.
below, I'm looking at the financial conditions index differential between the euro and the dollar. This time, not the dollar minus euro, but this time it's the euro minus dollar, which is shown in pink. As you can see, the financial conditions index on the eurozone is getting tighter for the euro, which means that the euro may get some further attention in the coming days because the financial markets, the financial conditions index is getting higher on the eurozone side.
Is that
So
because of bond rates and what's happening to their bond markets because of what the spending they're going to have to do on defense?
exactly, and also they are looking to keep the rates stable for some time at a time when the Federal Reserve is under pressure to lower the interest rates from the Trump administration. So this is creating this differential being rising in favor of euro. As you can see, if you
Okay.
look at the screen, the last bit of the screen here, I'm making a circle with my cursor. As you see, it made a dramatic increase, which suggests that the financial conditions index in the eurozone is getting tighter.
Hmm.
In with
Okay.
relative to the dollar, of course.
Okay.
Relative to the dollars.
All right. I actually think that this might be completing something if we get up to 120 in the
Exactly.
euro.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. What do you think could happen after? What could draw money back to the dollar? I think it's going to be geo with things continuing to deteriorate between Russia, Ukraine, and Europe. That the Atlantic Ocean will mean more than financial conditions.
Yes, if geopolitical risks increase in the world, uh,
Well,
in the
Europe,
near term,
Europe.
anywhere.
Okay,
But
all right.
I think that is going to well, that's the only thing that can reverse
The flows.
to the flows to the U.S. Then
Okay,
dollar can gain some strength in that case.
okay.
Yeah,
So they're economically, statistic wise, the dollar's in trouble. and the only way it recovers is when the world's in trouble.
Exactly. Only if in a world, if the geopolitical tensions increase, then the dollar can increase.
Okay. So anything else that you prepared to, you have
Yeah.
all these slides, so
Yeah,
go ahead.
that's okay. I'm going to make it very quickly. I don't know how many minutes we
Well,
have.
just go, I'll let you know. Just
Okay.
go ahead and relax and talk about your stuff.
All right. I want to talk about S&P for a moment.
Okay.
The S&P 500. I want to look at the S&P 500 from a different point of view. I'm looking at the spread of the real Fed funds rate minus the real GDPs. This is a spread that I'm watching a lot. Okay, what this spread is showing that, let me give you a little bit of, if you don't mind, a kind of an education as to what it
Okay.
means. The real Fed fund rate is calculated when you subtract the PCE out of the federal funds rate. Okay, that's very simple calculation. And what this shows is that if this rate is above, if it is below zero level, then the monetary policy is stimulative. Right now, we are at 1.7 here, right here, which is above the red line, which is a zero level. So we
Yeah.
are here, which means that we are not stimulative, we are restrictive, okay, because it's above the zero line. Okay, so this is from this point of view, it's S&P negative. And looking at the other side of this equation, the real GDP here, right here, it's in the next slide. The real GDP is when you subtract the imports out of the economic expansion of final goods, which is the GDP, right?
Mhm.
Then you get the real GDP. So if the GDP is not performing as good as the real funds rate, which means that if this whole thing, if this whole, here the next slide, if this whole chart goes up, it means that the federal fund rate is performing better than the real GDP. So it means that a non-stimulative environment is going against the real GDP, right? So here we are. We are at we are at. Let me look at this number real quick. I want to see it. Okay, it's 142. So anyway, it's at this level. So if it is high, okay, it's not good. We need this chart to go down for us to be able to say that the S&P may go higher further. But we are in an environment where the monetary policy is not stimulative and the GDP is stalling. So it's a threat against the S&P's
Well,
the
let
upcoming
me ask you this:
performance.
how can financial conditions be easier here than in Europe, but when it comes to S&Ps, we're still restrictive? Do you know what I'm
Well,
saying?
I know,
In
yeah,
comparison to Europe, so they must really be restrictive. If
exactly.
they're even more restrictive than
Exactly,
this.
exactly. They should be
Okay.
more, and they are more restrictive. You know why? Because their economy is not expanding as good
At
as
all.
the U.S. Yeah, they're not expanding anywhere.
Do you think ground zero for the next financial crisis is Europe? Unlike 2008 when it was here with derivatives, that if there is a problem, that it emanates from Europe?
That I don't think so. I mean, we are not there yet. We are not
Okay.
there yet. No.
Okay. All right. So, what kind of forecast does this give you for S&Ps?
All right, so I'm going to tell you in a minute,
Okay.
if you will. I want to show you the risk picture. The risk picture is I'm looking at. I mean, the risk is too low. All right, for the S&P. I mean, the indicators are showing me they are absurdly low. I mean, the move index is very low.
Yeah.
The VIX index is crazy low. and the
Yeah.
10-year returns are high. Well, 10-year returns are high because the risk is high, but it's contradicting with the WIX. Okay, so and it's contradicting with the Deutsche Bank's currency VIX index and the MOVE index and everything. So when I look at this chart, I say to myself that, well, it is not possible here. It is not possible for this kind of low volatility to maintain any further. I mean, look at the 10-year. This chart here is showing us the 10-year, sorry, the 10 days, 30 days, 50 days, and 100 days historical volatility. Look at, they are all converging at the low here, right here. And that's not very much seen thing. And the 10-year historical volatility is already above the 30 and 50 days volatility, which is a sign that in the coming days, the volatility can get real high. So which means that if the volatility goes higher, then the only way, the only direction that the S&P 500 can go is the low, down. So I believe that, I mean, looking at here, if you look at, if it seems that we are at 6,500 points, if you look here, my cursor, we are at 6,500. I mean, the chances are with a 68% probability, looking at the 16% RIX index, it tells me that the market may fluctuate between 6,800 and 6,100 points. I mean, given this picture, which direction do you think is more likely? I would say that given this picture, where the historical volatility is too high, too low, this picture is telling me that the S&P can really choose to go this direction, the 6,136 direction, down direction. Okay, so that's why I think that the S&P is a very dangerous place to be right now.
Okay, so it would kind of be on a smaller scale because the magnitudes would be smaller. Weak dollar and weak stocks, and the flow of funds will be to Europe and emerging markets, kind of what we had in the spring.
Yes,
Only
kind of.
only on a smaller scale, the magnitudes of the moves not as big, but there's dollar's not going to get a big bid on this pullback to 6,100-ish is my point.
Right, because back then the risk differential between the emerging markets and the US was not this high.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So great presentation. Are you looking for people? You're managing money, right? You're a CTA. Okay.
Yeah, I'm managing money not as a CTA at the moment because my risk disclosure document is not in place at the NFA.
Okay.
But I am managing money in Turkey.
Okay, they knock on your door without announcing.
Exactly. Yes,
I've had the pleasure.
Yeah. So you're watching those news, right?
I gave up my license, so they don't knock at my door. Yeah, so I went into the unregulated world of I don't have to have a compliance department say it's okay for me to say the market looks strong or the market looks weak. Anyway, anything else you want to wrap it with, Okan? And are you interested in followers and having people come and check out your work?
Yes, they can. If they can visit my website, anatoliafutures.com, if they want. And also they can also follow me at my Twitter and LinkedIn, which are Okan Aybar, which are all together. Well, it is before we have @ of course. So they can follow me on Twitter and on LinkedIn. And if they wish, they can visit my website. Starting from this month, I'm going to be posting newsletter there as well. But I'm also going to post those newsletters on the Twitter and the LinkedIn as well. So
Oh, great.
anybody, yeah.
Yeah, because you have a real nice perspective on how you look at the internals in the market and draw your conclusion. You're kind of like fundamental first that drives you to look at the technicals,
Yeah, that's
and
what I'm
which
trying
is
to
the
do.
opposite of what most people do. But I like it because I learn from you.
Thank
I'm
you.
probably weaker in the fundamental analysis than I am in technical. So it's always good to learn, and grow. So I want to thank you for bringing your stuff here to Face. How many years have you and I have been talking now, Okan?
I think it's 3 years. Last
Okay.
3 years, yeah.
All
It's
right.
been
Well,
3 years.
let's go another 30.
Yes, hopefully.
All
Yeah.
right.
Why not? The
And
life is longer.
yeah, anything you want to talk about geo-wise that people are worried about or talking about in Turkey?
Uh,
Anything?
GOY, what is it? GOY?
Geopolitical,
Oh,
anything?
geopolitical things. Okay. Well, in Turkey, the political environment is very unfavorable for anybody, even
Yeah,
for me, for a person from the guy on the street, everybody.
yeah, yeah,
It's not good. From political international political point of view, we are in between. I mean, fire. Look at. I mean, Turkey is in between. Okay,
yeah,
Ukraine and Russia,
and
and the south we
yeah,
have these
Iran.
romantic places like Syria, Iran, with
Yeah,
these things going on there. So it's
yeah.
not too good, not too
So,
good,
okay,
unfortunately.
we have a live example here, guys, before you all go. Here's the question for Okan. Is it a good thing for the leader of a country to overly influence or take over the central bank of their country?
Well, that's the worst thing that can happen to an economy because we experienced that
Right.
2 years ago,
Yeah.
and we have had a terrible, terrible financial turmoil,
Yeah.
which has evolved into an economic turmoil.
Yeah.
And if this, I mean, Trump is trying to do the same thing, however,
Right.
which
Right.
is not very favorable for a long-term outlook for the Fed and the economy. So, I
Yeah.
mean, this thing really should end, and technical people should do their job, and political people should do their job.
Amen.
Yeah,
Inshallah.
inshallah,
What?
yes.
Okay. Anyway, my trading warrior brother, great to talk to you. Thanks for your persistence. And I think your son wants to learn about the markets, and
Yeah, I will show him.
that's why he's all over your
Yeah,
all over
exactly.
your equipment. So really, thanks so much, Okan, and you and I be talking later in the fall,
Yeah,
like
sure,
November-ish. Okay?
sure,
All
anytime.
right. In the meantime, good health and abundance to you and your family.
You too, Dale, and everybody else.
All right. Thank you very much, Okan Abar. You can follow Okan on X at his name, spelled Okanaybar. Go to his website. I think anyone who looks into it could learn a lot about the mechanics and the plumbing of currencies and everything else from Okan. And that's going to be a wrap for me, everyone. I hope you have a nice weekend, a good weekend. Hope this week was kind to you. And remember, most of all, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. And you can always find one thing that you're grateful for. And grateful to have hung out with you guys this week and look forward to doing it all over again next week. Adios. Thanks again, Okan. And see everyone Monday. Adios. Thank you. Thanks again, Obar.
Thank you,
Thank
Dale.
you. Thank you, Okan. And see everyone later. You could join the team in 15 minutes on the morning edge. And uh, I'm looking forward to this flush out in the dollar and see what happens at 118 or 120 euro. So everyone have a great weekend. Adios.